happening this Austin Metcalf thing? You think he's gonna be able to
Metcalf ass go. Well, no, that boy going to jail.
Carmelo Anthony's going to go to jail.
Karmelo going to jail because this. Listen, you cannot bring a weapon to school.
Yeah.
So you can't say I was.
What if he says? But what if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense because if you are afraid the day before, where you have to take a weapon to school, why not notify your parents? Parents, you notify the school teacher. School teacher, let's bring these kids in here and resolve this issue. It's called conflict resolution. We was taught in homes that has morals and values, you tell the teacher. Somebody fucking with you, you tell the teacher. Let the teachers know so when y'all have an altercation, you're cleared and you're covered. Documentation beats conversation. So words of documentation just say this is self-defense. It's a premeditated crime because you took a weapon in fear. Anticipating to use it.
It was premeditated, though.
And it's at a track meet. You getting ready to run track with other kids and you got a knife on you.
I want to say this to all you Africans on the internet who are apologizing to Caucasian Nation for what happened. I'm sorry to the family that they lost their loved one. I make no jokes about it. No one should lose a child. Black, white, red, yellow, or brown. No one should lose a child. No one should lose a child. But I must say to Caucasian Nation, you take the life of black people on a daily basis without consequence.
On April 2nd, 2025, a tragic incident occurred at a high school track meet in Frisco, Texas, where a 17-year-old Austin Metcalf was fatally stabbed by fellow students Karmelo Anthony, who is black, and Austin was white. Now, there have been mixed reactions since then. Some black people are saying Austin, or are saying Karmelo Anthony, he was self-defending himself and should be released. Some are saying that he is a bad guy, needs to go to jail. You know, mixed reaction between black people. And funny enough, a lot of white people are not talking about this incident. They are quiet, seeing us black people having this mixed reaction. And one of the reactions that caught my attention, it was of Charles White, who said that this black teenage who is a Karmelo need to go to prison because he said he is a murderer. And Dr. Umar on the other side said that this was self-defense, and a lot of black people have been killed and nothing happened. There's reaction that some black people are trying to justify, and some black people are just against all the incident and saying it is bad. Okay, so that is what we are going to talk about it today, but I'm going to play reactions of videos, mixed reactions of black Americans talking about this. I'm so sad this happened, and may good Lord rest the soul of Austin in peace, because no one needs to die, even in the line of bullying and everything. No one is supposed to die, either white or black. But again, if we see all the injustices that have been happened since, I don't know what to say, but when watching these clips, I will come back here. It's so sad. It's so sad that this happened. Very sad. Let's watch the clips.
This Karmelo Anthony story is so sad because at the end of the day, the white kid would have always looked like the victim. Like, even if he was the one who had caused someone to pass away, no matter what. And the black kid, no matter which end of the scenario he was on, would have looked like the aggressor. He would have. And the fact that people are trying to make it seem like it's not race related, it absolutely is. Because why are y'all mad that people are giving to his GoFundMe, to his attorney fees and all of that stuff? Why are y'all mad about that? Why aren't more people mad? Which is the problem? Why aren't more people mad about kids being bullied? Because it's always okay until it's not. Until some stuff like this happen. That's the problem. Nobody's addressing bullies. And nobody's addressing those bullies. And they thought that they were going to get away with it. And unfortunately, it resulted in someone's life ending. But sometimes that's how stuff goes. And I feel so horrible for Karmelo because he had the rest of his life ahead of him. And because he's black, he's not going to get the same grace that a white child would get in the same situation. And we've seen that proven time and time and time again. They took Dylan Roof to, what was that, McDonald's or Wendy's? Like, we have to be so for real about the way that we're handling children, because they're children and not because of what their race is. We have to be more serious about addressing bullies in school.
Carmelo Anthony's situation is showing that we have black privilege, yes. As a black guy, I'm really Panamanian, but black privilege is a thing now. No more white privilege, okay? It's probably still a little bit of a thing, but you get what I'm saying. Black privilege is more relevant now. How can you tell me otherwise? Look at what happened. This guy stabs a guy multiple times to death, and look what happens. He gets released on bond that was at $1 million and went down to $2,500. Why? Black privilege. Carmelo Anthony shouldn't be released at all. I know I'm black and it's going to be like, oh my God, he's an Uncle Tom. I do not give a fuck. Fuck off. Carmelo Anthony should not be released. He should be in jail for the rest of his fucking life because he did murder. I don't care how he did the murder. He still did murder. And whether he's a black guy or not, he should not be able to get released. It's called murder. Things like this, okay, if a person is rich, what do you think they're going to do? If they want to just unalive somebody, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to just do it because they're going to know that they can afford bond at any time because they're rich. So this is not setting a good precedent for anything. This is wrong. Carmelo Anthony should be in jail. This family of the victim's family lost a brother, lost a son. Everybody's going through a lot of pain because of this. And then you throw it in their face by releasing the same guy that just unalived one of their family members. Fuck off. I don't give a fuck about your black crowd either. I don't want to be a part of your little black shit. Carmelo Anthony, yes, he's black. He should be arrested.
Hey, this is my one take on that one deal. Or what's that? Carmelo Anthony, the other guy who got unalive. This is my one take, right? This is facts. No, these are facts. If that white guy, it was another black young boy, he had got, I'm telling right now, the black population is on this app and on the news and donating all this money for his defense, wouldn't say a word. If it was two black dudes, little young dudes, I'm telling right now, it wouldn't have been a word, because you know why? Google violence in Memphis this past week. Google's violence in Wichita, Kansas this week. Google's violence in St. Louis. Google violence in Atlanta. You would see so many young black men hurting other young black men just like that. Even worse, they doing a boom boom. Even worse. And you would never hear black people getting outraged, just the family. You wouldn't hear the news getting outraged. They wouldn't report it like that because they don't care once it's a black on black. The news don't give a fuck. The Roller Martin of the world, these guys who donate money, they don't care as long as black on black. It just can't be a white person. It cannot be a white person. Your life only counts as a black person if there's a white person involved. Man, every day you go on YouTube, you see so many drive-bys. Little 2-year-olds, little black babies again. Pew, pew. No outrage whatsoever. They don't even care about that. But they must defend this young man at all costs because it's a white person involved. No different when the one little black girl hit the other black girl upside the head with the baton. See what happened? The perpetrator came out. She cried. It's not my fault. She called other people racist. The people who were telling her that she was wrong are black people. She was calling us racist. Another black person, a young girl. In the news, they did not interview the victim because the news, they're so complicit in that shit. The news media is so complicit. And the NAACP came out and defended the perpetrator, not the victim. That is my fault. That is 2025 for you. That's where we at. You cannot be reasonable. You cannot be reasonable in 2025 when dealing with some black folks. You cannot be reasonable. I'm telling you right now, tonight, in all these major cities, there could be so many young black men, unalived other black men, and they not gonna give a motherfucking damn. Not one TikTok. But it's a white person involved. Pro-blacks, let's do it. They don't care. I'm at my house right now. If a If a black guy come up right now, and pew pew, can care less, man. It's another one, man. It's another black dude dead, man. A white guy do it. Oh, the white guy racist. That's what he can do, man. That's what happens right now. They don't care about the guy being black. They care if there's a white person involved. That's the only thing they care about. Because they really care about black people, they would say some of these gangs. It's a gang in every damn city right now. Young black men, 14, 15, 16. They let it roll. NAACP, they let these gangs roll. These gangs only there for one reason. The gangs are there for one reason. To kill other young black men. And I said a word. Can't trust these people, man.
That young black boy would have killed another black boy to track meet. We wouldn't hear about it. There would be no GoFundMe. There would be no, oh, we need to stand with him. It's because he killed a white kid. And it's a race war underneath the surface of our country, mostly projected by black people against white folks. So when a black kid do something wrong, black people rally around the kid that did something wrong because they don't want the white boy to be right. They don't want white people to be right. They don't want white people to be on television saying that this black kid is a thug. They don't care that the black kid, I think that some of them do care, but I think that they're avoiding the point that the black kid actually took the life of somebody unnecessarily. Let me give you a couple factors here, which would bolster the legal argument that I have. I do believe that Karmelo Anthony will be found guilty if he goes to court. I think he's going to do a plea deal because he knows he's dead to rights. His attorneys know he's dead to rights. According to Texas State Penal Code, he will go to jail and be sentenced probably more harshly than he would if he do a plea deal. I think he's going to do a plea deal, and I think in the plea deal, they're going to give him manslaughter charges, and he's only going to do 5 or 8 years in prison, which is a travesty. If he goes to trial, this is how he loses. Unequivocally. In the state of Texas, they charged him with first-degree murder. First-degree murder is when you murder somebody intentionally or knowingly causing the death of another person. That's subsection 1. Subsection 2 is intending to cause serious bodily injury and commit an act clearly dangerous to human life that results in somebody's death. They got him on the first statute because he knowingly and intentionally decided to poke the boy in the heart with a knife. The second statutory claim here, which they can get him on as well, is intending to cause serious bodily injury. If you didn't intend to kill the guy, but you should know that stabbing somebody in the heart could cause serious damage, serious bodily injury to that person, and is clearly negligent and is dangerous to human life. They got him again. Here's another one. Commit or attempt to commit a felony other than manslaughter, during which they perform an act clearly dangerous to human life that causes death. Let me add to how that's a problem. Because carrying a weapon on a school campus is a felony offense. No, it's a misdemeanor offense. Let's go down to the law because I want y'all to see this very clearly. If you go down to Texas law, it says that it's a knife blade exception, right? If it's 55 inches or shorter, generally speaking, it could be used or be in a public place. However, there is restrictions as to where this can be presented. It says right here, let me go up a little bit. I'll go down here. It says violating these restrictions can lead to criminal charges with penalties varying based on.
So I've been hearing arguments from the other side of the incident with Karmelo Anthony and Austin McCaff. And what I'm consistently hearing people say is that Karmelo Anthony was wrong because he was in the wrong tent that didn't belong to his school and that he was disrespectful. And every time I hear that argument, all I can think is that y'all are suggesting that Austin didn't have any self-control. He didn't have any emotional regulation. Because deciding to get violent with someone is not an appropriate behavioral response to them being in a seat that you don't believe that they should be in, especially a seat that does not belong to you. And that makes me interested in hearing from people about his temperament and his behavioral history. Because if this were a black child in this instance, we would have already heard about that. We would have already heard about any other altercations or any other issues they've had in the past. And it's crystal clear to me that Karmelo Anthony didn't have a history of behaving like this because they would have released that information as soon as he was arrested. We would have heard about that a long time ago. So this seems like a one-off incident. And it's not that he lost control. He gave fair warnings, and then he had to protect himself. I would actually argue that Carmelo Anthony showed the most restraint and emotional control because he did not respond to physical threats to harm him. He did not become violent when being threatened with violence. All that to say, I really think we need to be looking at whether or not Austin McCaff had the ability to emotionally regulate, because it didn't seem that way. And if that were a black child, we would have heard about it by now.
They're not really mad that Karmelo brought a knife. They're mad that he didn't end up rolled up in a gym mat. Now, I made this video already, but people reported it. So I'm going to say what I said again. Just a calmer, I guess. The reality of the situation is, far too often, there's a specific group of white people who claim to fear black people while being those exact same people who aggressively and negatively approach black people to instigate situations such as these. But for some reason, when black people respond, because we're also human, they're like, oh, this black person, they responded to my negative fucking energy. Yes. Do not approach me. Never approach me. Listen, y'all can say that it wasn't self-defense. Okay. If that's what makes you feel better. Stand your ground also applies to black people. It doesn't just apply to white people. And, you know, just the difference of comments that were left under the previous video that I posted in regards to this situation versus me posting a video about Nikita Kassep, who did parricide and had planned on assassinating Donald Trump. People are under my comments like, oh, well, we don't always know what type of home they come from. Oh, sympathy. Do we see the difference? Do we not see the difference? You know, just the ignorance of a lot of people astounds me. And I wish I had the power to do something about it. But alas, I'm just little old Bree. But I hope y'all are having a good morning. Bye.
Bruh, I've been saying this for years. Our culture celebrates fakeness all the time. We uphold fake shit. Karmelo Anthony. That young man was an honor roll student, an athlete. That's who he really is. No support. He goes against his true character and commits an act that will affect him for the rest of his life. Everybody support him for doing the wrong shit. That's our culture in a nutshell.
Black folks, this ain't circus, bro. Stop jumping through these hoops for this Karmelo Anthony kid. He's a murderer, a straight murderer. He wasn't getting jumped. He wasn't fearing for his life. I got Exhibit A. Come and argue in the comments. Exhibit A. If let's take a look at the mugshot. Let's see if he's really getting jumped. Yeah, right after he got pummeled so bad that he felt that his life was in danger. All them bruises on his face. Oh my God, dude, he got beat so bad he need to stab somebody. Y'all sound ridiculous. Do better.
When it comes to the Karmelo Anthony case, all I'm gonna say is about damn time. And I know y'all probably wonder where I'm going with this, so listen up. Y'all don't know the story, so Karmelo Anthony is a student who basically was being bullied by some twins, and he was on track, and they had a track meet, and basically the twins had already made it clear that when they seen him, like, it was gonna be problems, and y'all can say what y'all want to say in the comments about the story. Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, because I know that's what y'all gonna do. But long story short, so he just knew he had to protect himself. Now, story was that he bought a knife, but we found out that it was like this little blade sharpener that you sharpen your cleats with, so it technically wasn't a knife. It was something that most of the track people would already have for their cleats. So one of the twins, rest his soul, basically told him that he was gonna put his hands on him, and he said if you put your hands on him, him, on me, I'm gonna basically show you what's up. Now, unfortunately, the situation ended the way it ended, and a life was lost. But the life typically was a white kid. And unfortunately, what's happening right now is in Texas, there's a stand your ground law. There's like this thing where you can protect yourself if you're assaulted, which Karmelo was assaulted, and the people are just not happy with that because, of course, a life was lost. I definitely want to say rest in heaven to the young man who lost his life. Yeah, like this. Bullies are bullies, and these little boys were bullies. Like, the fact that we see pictures of them on the internet with pum-pums in their hand, you could tell that they was basically like doing the most. You can also tell that Karmelo Anthony comes from a family who was very well off, and it's crazy how all of a sudden, because y'all done donated this money to him, the people are basically trying to say this his family using this money for A, B, C, D. No. Let's get to the real problem here. The real problem here is that this little black kid did what y'all been doing forever. A life that didn't look like his own, which is causing such a uproar online because y'all can't believe that this little black boy could be off this little white boy, and y'all are so upset about it, calling it black privilege. Like, when did black people get black privilege? Like, I want to know that. And it's about damn time if y'all trying to say we got black privilege, because it's about damn time we did what y'all did and we was able to actually get the results that y'all got. Let's be honest, because everybody can talk all day, but what about Trayvon Martin? Y'all believe that, y'all understood that, y'all was okay with that, y'all rock with that, but this is something that y'all not working with. I just think that it's crazy. Now, it's sad that a life had to be lost, but at the end of the day, this is a lesson learned. Like, keep your hands to yourself. Y'all gotta stop teaching y'all kids how to be bullies and teach y'all kids how to actually know that there's always consequences. And them consequences might not be what you want. Now you got a mom mourning a son, when in reality, based off the dad, they saying he got sexual assault charges and all of that. Like, come on, you know in the house there was some crazy stuff going on. My whole point is this. Y'all don't like what it's done to y'all.
I need somebody to explain to me why black people have to wait on justice to run its course when we get murdered by Caucasians. But when one of us is but when a Caucasian is unalived by one of us, it's okay for y'all to threaten us. It's okay for y'all to send death threats, racist language, racist mail, smear campaigns, slander, disrespect of every kind. Why is it okay for y'all to mistreat black people before justice has run its course in the courtroom? It's okay for y'all to do it, to mistreat us before we have had our day in court. But when y'all unalive one of us, we're supposed to wait until the court makes a decision. I know what this is about. This is about y'all thinking your lives are more valuable than ours. We know what it's about. Every African in America knows what this is about. You believe that your pale life is more important than my melanated life.
Welcome back. Now, Anthony, who is a black dude, was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. He claimed self-defense, stating that he was assaulted first. Initially, he was held on a $1 million bond. Later, the judge reduced it to $250,000, citing that Anton's lack of criminal history and his active involvement in school activities. Anthony was released on house arrest with an ankle monitor. This has sparked a lot of discussion. And funny enough, the discussion is not on the white people. White people are not talking about this. When I pass on my social media, I don't see white people talking about this, most of them. They have left this on the black people's hand to decide which is the better way to go. It's like a trap, okay? One thing for sure, no one needs to die in everything, because if we say it was self-defense, that means the other guy could have killed him. So he was trying to prevent himself. It's so much. Now, I will react on both sides, of those who are supporting and those who are not supporting. Those who are supporting, saying that Karmelo need to be released because white people have done some things on us and blah, blah, blah. It's right. They are okay. All of us, we are fine. We are okay on which side we are in. Because when black children or black teenagers they find themselves in this way, and we as black people, we support them, saying that it is self-defense. You need to do that. You are our hero. What are we planting on our black teenagers? We are planting more hatred. We are planting more and more hatred between the two groups. What if tomorrow the white kids will be so much to black? That means what? That means we will lose black teenager, because this black teenager was full of himself, saying that, you know what, I'm defending myself and my people will prevent me, or my people will protect me. They will go fund me. whenever I do it, even Karmelo did it. Who am I? And he find himself in a negative side and is the one who will be dead. And this white dude will go and say, I was self-defending myself. What are we planting on our children? That's what we need to ask ourselves. I think upon reacting on this issue, we need to react on it with a lot of, not feelings, not using feelings in this. Because some teenagers, black dudes or black children, black girls and boys, they're watching. And they're watching, seeing some black people protecting Karmelo, and they're like, oh yes, this is good. So if white dude, what are we planting to our kids? Just a little example. When you have your child in a house, I know Jamaicans and black parents, they know how to discipline. Even Africans knows how to discipline their children. If you have these children and is the firstborn in the house, you have like 4 children. The firstborn goes out in a fight and he did something bad. Maybe he stole something from the neighbor, and because you don't love the neighbor, you will be like, oh, this is good. I hate you. He did something good. And you just keep quiet on your son. That means the younger ones will see and say, oh, stealing is good. What will happen next? These younger ones will go and steal again. This time, they face the hand of they fall in wrong hands. Maybe they are beaten to death. Eh? So, if we could have protected this earlier, we could not have been here. But because we are planting hatred in our children, it's going to be bad. White children or white kids on white teen, on the other hand, will say, oh, so he did this, killed our own, and then he got out scot-free. Whenever we meet another one, we do what we do. So it will be do or do. So it will be total chaos, man. We do not need to justify this. Even if we are justifying, but we need to take it. What if this black guy, Karmelo, was the one who was no more? How will we be saying this? We'll be putting pressure on the white people. That's the other side. And this other side again, for those who are saying like it was self-defense, and in self-defensing anything can happen, they are right too. Because black people, most of them have been dying, injured, because they did not protect themselves. And whenever that happened, no one could talk about it. This white guy could walk out. No one could talk about it. White people will not come out. There is a way we could say, as Dr. Umar has said, like, white people have been doing this on black people for so long, but we are easy to judge black. And that's why I said it is mixed reaction. Mixed reaction, but needs to be taken. If you are a parent, you know what to do on this. You know what to say, and you know what to teach your children. Black parents. The reason why these reactions, most of the people talking about this is black people, and white people ain't talking about it. I think in one way or the other, they are putting us black people on the spot to see what are we going to do. And as we have seen, there's a lot of division inside this case. When you go on social media, a person will say like this, black people will come and comment. Will say, I support, they'll come and comment. We are dividing in this. George Floyd was killed. Black people stood. They fought Black Lives Matter. Some white people supported. George Floyd was killed by a police officer. It was police brutality. We have been having cases of white bullying blacks and blacks ending up dead. This case need to be taken like any other. Now, I have seen a guy saying here, the father of this white teen single-handedly solved this case, because when the mother of Anthony, I was in a press conference, the father of Metcalf came, or the father of Austin came, because he was not invited. He was told to move out, and without doing anything, he went. People are saying that in this scenario, Anthony could just move because it is being said he was in a place where he was not supposed to be. mixed reactions. I just want to see what you're going to say on this, because I don't want to lie on one side, because black people, we are here on this platform and we are talking differently. But at the end of the day, you as a parent, we are not supposed to put hatred on our kids. Like, we need to take actions where it's due. I don't know what you'll say. Tell me in the comment section. Till next episode, peace out.